What's the dumbest thing you've ever been punished for? When I was a teenager working at McDonald's, a special order came back without tomatoes. So I made a sandwich and sent it up, only to have a manager come back and yell at me for not putting tomatoes on the sandwich. He then slaps a fat slice of tomato on the sandwich and sends it up. Turns out an old lady was allergic and I got chewed out. The next day I got fired for it. That's making my blood boil just reading it. Okay, I have several questions. 1. Who chewed you out? 2. If the lady chewed you out, did your manager see it, and if so, what did he say? 3. If your manager chewed you out, did he lie and say he never put tomatoes on it? 4. Why did they fire you? I basically got called up to the front by the drive-thru, and there is this ancient-looking old lady and the cashier. The cashier explains the issue and I said that I know and I'm sorry, but my shift manager added the tomato and he acted like he had no idea that it wasn't supposed to have it on. The next day I have a discussion with the store manager about how they don't need me and I'll get my next check in the mail. It was years ago, but it was the first time I realized how unfair the world could be. Sounds like a couple of losers that chose to make fast food a career are begging for an ass whooping. In college I once got a full letter grade off a paper because I had 7 sources instead of 5. Same professor almost failed me because my presentation was supposed to be on the last possible day. I didn't actually pick the day I was presenting, by the way. Every presentation was on a different subject and he assigned dates to each one. You just had to pick the subject you were going to research and do the presentation on the day it was assigned. I picked the last one because it was something I was genuinely interested and knowledgeable in. The day of my presentation comes up and I'm there with my laptop and a backup on a flash drive, and he starts the class by saying I don't want to do any more presentations. If you haven't presented by now you'll get a 0 on the assignment, knowing full well I had signed up for that presentation months in advance and was the only person left. Had to go to the dean and present proof that I had the presentation ready beforehand and that I had signed up for that presentation months in advance. We reached a compromise and I just got to be on the project without having to present. Dude had it out for me and I'm not sure why, never will be. He even took a letter grade off a paper for my title because he didn't like something about it. I don't know, he never even told me what his logic was. He just wrote "Where is your title?" right next to my title, which was very clearly up at the top of the page, centered, and following the format he had assigned us. Edit. Oh, senior year I got a very stern talking to from my professor in some bullshit class called Health Through the Life Cycle. Why did I get such a stern talking to? We were having a discussion about whether or not we should allow polygamous marriages and I was the only person in the class against it. I had a teacher in middle school who just outright hated me. The day before a major project was due she had me show her what I had, and then proceeded to tell me I had done it all wrong. I went home and corrected it, staying up pretty late to change what she told me to. So the first person goes up to present, and it's done just the same as I had done. Second person goes up, same thing. Then, when there's time for one more person to go, she looks around the room pretending to look for another person to go before her eyes lighting up as they rest on me, knowing I had done the assignment wrong due to her comments and now I can't go back home to do it right. So I go up and it looks like shit and I of course get a bad grade. Nobody believed me that she had lied to me, and when I of course got a bad grade, she finally had what she needed to make sure I was academically suspended from my sport, causing me to break down in class. Later a different teacher overheard me talking shit about it and saying I'd love to get her back, and I got expelled for threatening a teacher. At my school we had to wear our IDs visibly, most wore it around the neck. This was the first year of the school requiring this, so it was new to everyone. Around halfway through the first semester, I forgot my ID at home. We had block scheduling, half my classes one day, half the next, and I had 2 backpacks, one for each day. I put my ID away and forgot to transfer it to the next day's bag once I got home. Easy mistake to make. Due to my parents' work schedules and the distance to school, I got dropped off super early, like over an hour before school started. I realized I was missing my ID, so I went to the office to get a temp one since there was absolutely no way of getting my ID from home. I got it. But I also got detention. Which was the punishment for being caught without your ID. Funny thing was, I knew that if I just went to classes and stuff like normal, the teachers probably wouldn't have noticed/cared that I didn't have my ID, and there's a solid 90% chance I wouldn't have gotten any punishment at all for not having it. So thanks school, you taught me that the punishment for trying to make things right for an honest mistake that doesn't hurt anyone is the exact same as not trying to make things right. Only I'm guaranteed to get caught if I try to make things right. So it's better to conceal your mistakes and hope nobody notices. Great lesson. I didn't exactly get in trouble, but here's my story. Without going into too much detail, I deal with some pain sometimes. I can go a while without feeling it, and then it comes, and I was specifically prescribed pills to help relieve it. Since I go a while without feeling it, I go a while without checking the pill bottle, and only do so when I need them most, right? Well, one day, I feel the pain start coming, and it feels a little worse than usual. But, no biggie, I have my pills and they always help me feel better. So I go grab my pills, and they're empty. I go question my mom about it because I've definitely not taken enough pills to even have the bottle be halfway empty, even less so completely empty. She tells me, in a no big deal way, that my dad has been taking my pills this entire time, and just implies that my need for them is less important than my dad needing them. These pills are prescribed to me purely for my pain relief. They don't technically improve my health in any way, other than just making me not feel like shit, but they're my pills. I seriously would not have been angry at them if they had asked permission and left enough for me. But I'm obviously very angry because not only did I find my pill bottle empty, but I found it empty when I needed it most. I've been pretty sick of my parents, mostly my mom, disrespect towards me and my things, so I texted my mom. I told her next time they need something, could they ask me first, and similar stuff. I didn't even say they weren't allowed to use my stuff or anything, all I said was I wanted to be informed of it. My text was noticeably angry, but not disrespectful or rude in any way. She got mad at me for that. Replied angrily, told me her famous dumb line, raise crows and they'll claw your eyes out. My punishment is her usual silent treatment, which just makes me feel even more unimportant, and not worthy of respect. Plus it's annoying because there are some questions I require her to answer in order to do stuff, but she ignored me like a child. Still makes me angry.